Hello, I'm Bill LeMay, and thank you for watching Community Matters. We'll hope you continue to watch as we discuss issues facing our community and provide you with the resources and information needed to find solutions. Welcome to Community Matters. Today we're talking economic development and job growth in North Carolina. We'll be speaking with the folks who put businesses together with the skilled workforce they seek. And joining me now is Michelle Muir, Regional Director with the North Carolina Department of Commerce. Michelle, it's so good to see you again.
Thanks so much, Bill. It's great to be here today.
I'm going to be a little stupid on this because I'm not that informed on this. Tell me a little bit about what it is you do.
Yeah, the North Carolina Department of Commerce administers federally funded programs that help connect talent to jobs. And so we focus really on programs that develop job seekers' talent and also give them access to the jobs, and also programs that assist employers in identifying the talent, training the talent. And we do all of this to help entrepreneurs, economic development recruiting projects, and existing businesses in North Carolina. We really want them to thrive.
So why would we want to do this?
Well, it makes all of our communities better. The community matters, as you know.
Yes, it does. Yes.
So what these programs do in North Carolina, we have a series of local partners that deploy these activities in their regional areas. They're usually multi-county areas, and the state partners to put together career centers where any employer or job seeker can go to our NC Works career centers that are operated by our local partners to get access to these programs. So if someone's looking for training, they may need assistance with certification, credentialing. They may not even know what they want to do, and they want to have a job coach kind of help them through that exploration process. We've got folks who can do that on the job seeker level. And then we've got folks who are out there meeting with businesses, meeting with businesses that are looking at coming to North Carolina and talking about the amazing workforce that North Carolina has to offer.
We were talking earlier, and you had mentioned that, you know, in North Carolina, we do a pretty good job at making sure that the folks here in North Carolina are educated and have the skills necessary to meet those needs of businesses.
Yeah.
But you're suggesting we could do better. And in fact,
well,
there's something
it's always an ever-changing landscape. So
Right.
whatever you were doing that worked yesterday is not necessarily going to be what works tomorrow. And so what the state is really focused on, and what you see coming out of Governor Cooper's administration, is really framing of those priorities called North Carolina Job Ready. And there's really three aspects to that. One is making sure that these programs, initiatives are employer-led, because I think, as you and I both know, government coming in and saying, here's my solution,
Right.
Now what's your problem? That's not an effective way to use taxpayer resources. And so having things that are employer-led make sure that whatever's going on in that local area or that particular sector or industry, that you're really focusing on the things that matter to the businesses there. So making sure it's employer-led. Looking at local innovation. What works for Asheville is not necessarily what works for Dare County, where I'm from, right? Two entirely different geographies. Those two both have a lot of tourism, but we have areas of the state that are much more engaged in advanced manufacturing or may have a healthcare focus. There's an aviation focus down in southwestern parts of the state. And so that local innovation is really critical. And then the other is skills and attainment. And that is, you know, our workforce has to have the skills that employers need, whether the employers are here, the employers are changing. I mean, you know that the jobs that we have in place today and the kinds of things that are happening because of disruptive economies, you are not going to see those same jobs at the same levels. And so we're really looking forward, and we're really looking to make investments in people and time and treasure and talent and in those communities to make sure they're ready, not just for what people need today, but what they're going to need tomorrow.
So for someone who is sitting on the couch right now watching us,
Yeah.
maybe they own a business, or maybe, gosh, they just hate what they do and they'd like to try something else.
Oh my goodness.
This
yeah.
is something they really should look into, because I mean, does it cost them any money to get involved?
No, all of these
I don't think people know this.
Thank you for asking that really most important question. Free is a very operative word, and it's a very attractive word to our businesses and to our job seekers. All of these programs really have already been paid for with taxpayer dollars through federal program dollars, and they come into North Carolina and are deployed out to the local level. So people are not paying for these things, for these services at all. Now, there are some of the programs when you go in, there may be different eligibility requirements for different programs. Some are going to be geared toward particular skill development, right? So we're not out there assisting people go to law school so much. If they want to go to law school, we can help get them career track, make sure they know what their career path should look like. But what we're really looking at is helping people have a meaningful living in North Carolina.
And at the same time, creating an atmosphere in which businesses will come here. But it's not just for businesses, and I know you do seek out businesses.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's for, Bill's Widgets. Developing
absolutely.
this new widget.
And we know the number of small businesses in North Carolina and in the country are far greater source of employment to these communities than, the big companies get a lot of name recognition, the Amazons or the Cornings or major projects. But it really is those small businesses that can come and I think some other folks can talk more a little bit later about the services, direct services and things like that for those employers. But what we're really focusing on the state level is how do we administer, how do we effectively organize our programming so that everyone in the state can have access to this? And you and I talked a little bit about special populations that we really identify as wanting to assist through some of these programs. First, and really close to my heart, are the veterans, right? We in North Carolina have so many great people who come into this state, who serve our country as on one of our bases, and we don't want them to leave North Carolina, right? We want them to become part of our communities because they've already given so much, and it's usually because they're the kind of person who gives, and so they come into the community and they continue giving because that's just the nature of who they are. And so we want to make sure that we are doing everything we can to give them the opportunity to make a good living for their families, like so many of us in North Carolina have access to. But transition is difficult, right? Whether it's just what language you use on a resume, or whether it's helping an employer see the value of that military experience and how it relates to what that employer needs. So there's a great program called NC for Me that specifically looks at matching employers in need with the talent that is coming out of our veteran population. So,
That's so awesome.
yeah,
I mean,
it's really great.
It really is. It's like the best kept secret. I'm sure everybody else knows, and I've just
No. That's why we're so excited to be here today to talk about this.
How do people get a hold of you then? I mean, to learn more. We're going to get a little more in depth here in the segments to come, but for people watching right now, I mean, you should be excited. This is great news.
Yeah.
Where do they go?
Well, there's a couple entry points. One, if they prefer to be virtual, NC Works Online is at ncworks.gov, and that is basically access to all of these job seeker and employer services virtually. In their community, they can go to an NC Works Career Center, or they can always go to the Department of Commerce website and find their way to these things. So we just had a new redesign on the website. It's a lot more user-friendly, especially for mobile users, and a lot of opportunities there. So
you're making it easy. That's great.
We're really focused on customer enhancement. So that's my. I was in that realm before I came into this administration and government, and I'm happy to continue that, trying to make sure that government gets the customer service thing right.
I love that.
Yeah.
Michelle, thank you so much.
Sure.
Very kind of you to do this. Very exciting. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Community Matters.